YouTube up? Welcome back to Channel Adrian TV, and y'all know me as Adrian. But before I get into today's video, y'all know what y'all need to do. Subscribe to this channel, like and comment on the videos. Also follow me on Rumble where I post, and if you have a great topic about sports, relationships, money, pretty much anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit me up on one of my social media platforms. It'll be pinned in the description. Now, y'all, welcome back. I know it's been a few days since I put a last video out, but I am still putting out those sorts, and I've been seeing the support, so I appreciate y'all on that. But today's video, I was going to do a video about my top tech essentials for this year, but I decided to go with a little bit more serious approach. You know, I haven't done the Adrian's rant in a while, and today I was thinking about a motivational video. And my thing is, I wanted to talk to y'all about, in life, you're going to be hit with a lot of punches. You're going to be hit with a lot of failures. You're going to be hit with a lot of pitfalls. And they're really going to come out of nowhere. But I wanted to give you tips on how I'm able to handle them, and maybe you can apply it to your own life to where you can avoid these type of pitfalls or handle these punches that life throw at you. Now, number one is, I don't take any days off. Like y'all seen my YouTube, I post every single day. Now, it may not be a video, but I make sure I at least get my shorts out. I always hit the gym 5 to 6 times a week. And a lot of times, I still work out 7 times a week, even though I shouldn't, but I still go run. I work on my side businesses on there, checking it every day, seeing where I can improve. Because I understand how tough and competitive this world is. I want to give myself every advantage that I can possible to be successful, because as you may know, or hopefully I hope you don't know this yet, but life is going to throw a monkey wrench at you to where you're going to have to think on your feet and think, okay, how can I solve this problem? What can I do? What are my options? And one of the biggest tips I want to give to you is, men and women, you have to work every single day. In other words, you know that saying, take no days off. I know that sounds cliche and it doesn't sound glamorous, because I do understand a lot of us want to have fun, and I get all that and I agree with all that, but don't have fun at the expense of your own success if you know you're not even where you need to be. Because I see people having fun when they didn't accomplish anything, they didn't do anything. And I know that may be a little bit too serious for y'all, but a lot of things that I was able to do in my life and I wasn't affected by in life was because I took no days off. And yeah, and you never really know what can happen tomorrow, because I've seen people, you know, be up here and then something immediately happens to where they're literally at the bottom, and they're trying to scrap and scramble to put something together, piece something together. That is why I tell y'all, or I should say I'm advising y'all, to never take a day off. I literally work every single day. But the thing is, my job isn't bad, but hopefully one day I can leave my full-time job and, you know, do YouTube or do my side businesses, you know, full-time. So that's the goal. But until then, I have to continue to work every day and take no days off until I accomplish that. Number two, life is very competitive, because y'all know that quote, and I know y'all heard me say this quote time and time again, I'm competing with myself. Now, I understand what that quote means. In other words, when you first start out something, don't compare yourself to the others of people in that same field or whatever you're competing against, because they've been at it longer than you. But at a certain time, you need to start getting serious and understand where you are against people you're competing against, because life is competition. I know a lot of people want these 6-figure jobs to take care of their family, but there's only so many 6-figure jobs to go around. There's only so many jobs to go around, and people want to give the best life possible for their wife, their son, their daughter, their husband, everybody. So that's why I say you have to compete, because at the end of the day, one person's going to get the job. It's either going to be me or you. And I'm working my butt off to hopefully that I'll get the job over you. And y'all know we live in a what have you done for me lately world. So you can afford to take a day off. You can afford to slack. I know a lot of people do that. And in the past, I may have been guilty of doing that as well. But a lot of times, right when I start to slack or maybe have a slack off day, for example, I wasn't gonna do this video, but then I instantly thought, man, I gotta get this video out. I have to keep working, because I do believe it may be someone watching this video right now who is like, I could take Adrian's spot. I know if if I get a chance to be in that spot, I will do a lot better. And how much money he makes and what he brings to this family, I know if I were able to get that, I could bring that to my family and do better than him. And I respect that and understand that. That's why it kind of keeps me focused and keeps me going to where, I always have my head on a swivel, and I'm always working, because this world is too competitive. And then with computers, AI, and all this new software coming out, it's going to be even more competitive. So it ties into where I compete, because I know when I'm not working, someone else is working. And keep in mind, this goes with the whole theme of how to handle life punches. If you take these tips and apply them in your life, if life throws a monkey wrench at you or life punches you, you'll be able to handle it better than the majority of people, because the majority of people aren't going to work hard every day. A majority of people will not view life as competitive as I do, or we do, or if you honestly do watching this video. And number 3, prepare for the worst. And what I mean by that is, I always think the worst is going to happen. Now, I know some of y'all may say that's uncalled for and it's paranoid. Why would you think that way? The only way I think that way is because I've seen too many people fall from grace in a matter of months, weeks, days. So in other words, when I'm thinking, okay, do I have enough money put away to survive if an emergency happened? How is my savings? In other words, thinking along the lines of that, to where if a worst case scenario would happen, would I be able to have shelter, food, water, the basic essentials? And hopefully you apply this into your own thinking, to where you could find other weak areas in your own life to where you could better prepare for. So if any event happens to you, you will be capable to still stay on your feet while you're going through that rough patch. Okay, and number 4, make sure you have low debt. Make sure your credit cards have a high credit line, and more importantly, make sure you have a savings. Now, I'm not saying you go crazy with credit cards and you spend your savings, but what I am saying is make sure you have low debt and you have credit cards, so just in case if a family emergency happens, or some emergency to where you do have to spend money, you can still be able to stay on your feet, take care of yourself, and ride out that rough patch until you're able to get back on your feet again. This area right here is where so many people fell at, to where they dig themselves in a hole and they're never able to recover. Because how many times have you seen someone loses a lost one, or someone has a car accident, or their car breaks down to where they have to repair a transmission, something along those lines. So if you have good credit, so credit cards with high credit lines, and then on top of that, low debt with a savings, you'll be fine. And number 5, I'm always looking for more opportunities. I'm always looking, okay, maybe there's a new side hustle that I could do. Maybe there's better job opportunities to where I could get to a better job and higher pay. In other words, I'm always looking out, always keep an eye open, because you never know what door that can open can lead you to the next step of success. I know too many people that are stagnant, and I never understood that. Now, if you are where you want to be in life, that's fine. But if you're trying to constantly compete and get better, because remember, y'all, inflation does go up every single year, so things are getting more expensive. So that's why I always stress to y'all, if you're not making more money than what you did last year, you are losing just because of inflation. And number 6, the last point I want to say to y'all is, look, at the end of the day, nobody's perfect, and you could plan and try to plan for everything that's going to happen, and you still could be blindsided. At the end of the day, men and women, you cannot give up. You just have to keep fighting, because once life takes that fight after you, I've seen people go through some dark holes they were never to dig themselves out of. So men and women, I hope you find this video helpful. So if you face any hardships, or this or use this as a rule break to prepare yourself. So if life does punch you or life throws a monkey wrench in your own life, whatever you're doing, you can be able to handle yourself and it will be better than most people. Y'all remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video.